we go. Oh my God, Regina, stop. Oh, the hell? I have food on my shorts and didn't even realize it. That's kind of weird. But all right. Hey, what's up?
Not much. How you doing, man?
This, another night in my odd, chaotic life, I guess.
I completely understand.
I don't even know. I think that's, what the hell? I don't even know what's there. I don't even remember what I ate. All right. Yes, so welcome. This is my, as I describe it, unorthodox, very low budget podcast.
Hey, it doesn't take
man.
all good.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. Because I don't do as you can see, I don't do the traditional thing. You've got bigger headphones than I do. I've got my little sperm drops right here, and I move around my house because I can't stand sitting in one place. I don't have a desk. I don't have like high tech gear. It's just me.
This is my old mic, man. This is like old mic and old headset that I got a while back.
You know what? It'll work. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes. You get to watch me feed my fat ass cats.
Hey, why not? They gotta eat too, right?
Right?
You'll probably hear little jing in the background. Those are my dogs running around.
All right. So this is Meatball. Look how big this damn cat is. Look at the size of this fucker. He is fat. And then this, if he'll let me pick him up, this is Milkshake.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. It's the only cat that's actually a solid color other than the white paws. All of the other cats have this tiger stripe pattern.
Nice.
And they're not even actually related.
How many? Yeah, I was gonna say, how many cats do you have?
This is Nugget. We have 4.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where Fry is. They're all food themes too.
I have 6 dogs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've got 6 animals total.
Are you counting kids, or you just?
Oh no! If I count kids, then it's 10 animals.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I have there are as many animals in this house as there are people. So, 2 adults, 4 children, 2 dogs, 4 cats.
We have 6 dogs, 3 kids, husband, wife. We have fish, but they stay. They stay in an aquarium, so it's no big deal.
Right. Now hold on. You say 3 kids. Does that 3 include your wife?
No, that'd be 4, and that'd be me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not looking to get you in any trouble there, Reuben.
Yeah, no, don't want to get in trouble.
I'm not looking to do that to you. And my lady and I have that debate pretty much on a daily basis. Cause
who's the kid?
Yeah. Of whether it's her or me. Now I have fully accepted that, she ruined me. Like, I can't stand normal anymore. I have to have mildly unstable or it's not going to work. And she did that to me. I blame her completely.
That was her doing.
That was her fault, yes. Absolutely her fault. Hey, come on, there you go. Jesus. All right. Yes, I'm doing it out of order. You'll live. I promise. I never knew that cats could actually be picky. Do you have any cats?
They can what?
They can be picky.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Like, I went out and bought a bunch of canned food because this fatty right here decided to stop eating dry food altogether. So I had to start making him special dinners.
Oh no!
By mixing the wet food with the dry food, so he'd actually eat it. Yeah, no, he literally just refused. It had nothing to do with his diet. He just refused. He just started refusing because he's an asshole. Because, like, once a month, I was giving them wet food because it's really not good for their teeth. Wet food's really not good for their teeth. So once a month, I was giving them a can. When it became 4, I was splitting that can between the 4 once a month. Well, then this asshole over here just decided literally to stop eating dry food altogether. Because he's like, oh, well, if I stop eating dry food, then I have to get the wet food. Like, he knew. He just knew. Somehow he knew.
He was playing his cards. He was like, I think if I just...
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I would have waited him out, but he didn't eat for 3 days.
Damn.
So, yeah, so that was kind of like a fine you win. Because I'm not burying you.
Yeah, no.
So
Completely get it, man.
the cat's only 3 years old, you know, and I'm like, you
Young
win.
cat.
Fine.
Yeah, that's a young cat.
Yeah. Like, I ain't going to bury a 3-year-old cat because he starves himself to death. Sorry, that ain't going to happen. So you win. I'll give you whatever you want. Just friggin' eat.
Right. I don't care if your teeth rot out or whatever.
Right?
You'll get it.
we'll deal with that at a later time. But the thing is, I give him very little of the wet food. It's more of the broth inside the wet food that I give him, and I just dump it on the dry food. So in a way, I won that battle too.
Little trick there, yeah.
Yep. So he doesn't get as much wet food as he thinks he does.
So what have you been up to? You had for a while. You were kind of going on some things there.
I actually still have all of those going on, which is why I stepped away from TikTok. And it was a number of reasons. I stepped away from TikTok because I have other more important things I need to focus on. I also stepped away because I was spending way too much time putting up videos that no one cared about. I just, yeah. Like, dude, I was on it all the time. When I sat back and really assessed it, I would wake up in the morning, I'd grab my phone, I'd open TikTok, and all of a sudden it was bedtime. Like, it was
Wow.
it was way too much time. Hey, shut up.
So it was just sucking your day, man.
Yeah, basically. And it was between, supporting people, which is always fun to do, and then putting up videos that I wanted to put up. And like, they weren't being taken down. TikTok was leaving me alone. I never really cared about the amount of views. I didn't give a shit. They were literally like leaving me alone. I was getting away with putting up videos that should not have been on TikTok at all, based on what I've seen other people being banned for.
Yeah.
I should have been banned a long time ago. But I realized I was burnt. Like this, what I'm doing right here, I'll have people on between 1 and 3 days a week, and we'll talk for either 20 minutes or however long we decide to talk, and then I'm done. That's it. I don't do any editing. Well, I'm not editing anything, by the way. So if there's something, yeah, I'm just letting you know. So if there's something that you don't want being heard, don't say it.
Don't say it.
I don't edit anything. I feel that I have to do that disclaimer. I'll have to do that disclaimer until people just know.
I like
because
that.
I do not edit anything. If you have,
I'm like, all right, keep it clean, man.
yeah. Oh no. YouTube doesn't care. I mean, like if we start talking about work, don't say the name of where you work.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Say whatever you want. Just don't give specifics.
I got you.
Because I will not edit them out. So if you're like, this is gonna get me in trouble, then don't say it. Or say it, but don't give the actual name with it.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Kind of like writing a book and changing all the names. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I like to give that little warning. I'm pretty sure soon enough people will watch enough of them, and then they'll come on and be like, yeah, I get it.
Yo, I'm sure they will. Yeah. Like, I already know the drill. I got it.
Yeah, like I understand. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Other than that, like I still have the show I'm trying to do. That hasn't stopped. That it's just a time-consuming pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And now I have YouTube. Like, because I used to do YouTube. I used to do this all the time, actually. And it was just me, and it got boring really fast. And now I have what I need to bring people on. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna have another go at this because now it's not just gonna be them looking at me. It's gonna be them looking at you too. So I get to share the blame if this sucks, you know?
Well, hey, not just my fault, it's this guy's fault too, right?
Right? Exactly. I get to point fingers. What have you been up to? Other than your badass parodies on TikTok, by the way. I
Thank you.
still I
Yeah,
still don't know why you haven't released an album.
man, you know, they've definitely been fun to write, and it's an outlet. It definitely is an outlet. Um, but I don't know. You know, I think, and I know you know this. You kind of go through these spots with TikTok where you're doing very well, or you
Yeah,
seem to be doing well, and all of a sudden, kind of it levels off, almost like you've plateaued, and
yeah,
then all of a sudden I started losing people. Like I was like, oh, okay, and not that I care, you know, whatever.
yeah.
But I was like, interesting that it's going the opposite way. But then I also noticed that it wasn't getting pushed out as much, and you know, I refused to take my shirt off on TikTok and show show my chest to try to get views.
Oh,
So
come on. You don't want to thirst trap and
you
catfish? Come
know,
on.
it was getting close to it, and then I was like, probably not. So you know, I was like, you know, I'm still gonna keep producing and putting out there
Yeah,
and having fun with it, because for me it actually is an outlet. It's something that whenever I'm stressed, whenever I'm frustrated, or I just need
yeah,
kind of a moment, writing the parodies is a lot of fun for me, and it takes a lot of stress off of me. Recording it is more stressful because since I'm writing it, like, you know, within 10-20 minutes, depending on what I'm writing, then I got to memorize it. So it's like the
yeah.
memorizing, forming it, and that's kind of more stressful than actually coming up with it.
You know what you want to do? And this is just a suggestion. In between putting those videos up, if you're having a hard time writing or memorizing, post bloopers. People love bloopers.
I need to do that, but I stopped doing so the way I do it now, because before I would do it on like I'd have the music, but then it would be me essentially live doing the rap,
Yeah,
and then so you could hear me mess up and everything. Well, now I use this app called Spire, and I move the sound onto it, like the background music, and I record there,
yeah,
because it gives you a better quality. And
yeah,
then so what you would see is you see I should post the bloopers of me missing the lip sync, because that happens a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that
Like,
one quite a bit.
right?
So you're just learning the lyrics. I mean, even though you wrote them, it's not like you've been singing that for months or weeks. It's like in the moment. It's like, oh, I just wrote that. I need to put that aside now. Oh, I'll come back to it later. And then I start trying to memorize it and put it out there. And for me, it's usually as soon as I come up with something, that's what I'm getting ready to post. I don't kind of build and sit up on things and then put them up. It's kind of like that's what the latest thought was.
Yeah.
Um, but I took a break for a little while. We had an unexpected passing in our family.
Oh, I know. You told me about that.
Yes, when that happened, um, I kind of just I took a step back, and you know, of course, the creative flow just wasn't there. I was in a downward spiral, just kind of dealing with that. Um, and then little by little, you know, as you start healing, um, it starts coming back, and things start coming back, and you start feeling better. But one thing I made it a point to do is, like, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna try to force something out. If it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
Because you start getting almost like this. Oh, I gotta post. Oh, I gotta interact. I gotta do this. And
Yeah.
and I had to tell myself, I was like, no, you don't. You don't have to
No,
do
you
anything.
don't.
It's
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. Um, doesn't matter who, you know, how many people are your friends or anything like that. It's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna fall in that trap. I'm just gonna stay back. So I took some time off. I think I posted like one or two here and there, and then today was kind of the first day that I hit a moment where it was like, oh, I'm gonna write, like that. I'm gonna, like, the intent was to go and write, and then I did the minivan
Yeah.
song to the salt and pepper thing, because I was listening to it. It was actually I was listening to a 90s mix, and it popped on, and I was like, I wonder what I could write with that. And then kind of minivan popped in, and I was like, oh, I bet, oh, I could do, oh, here it goes. And then it just kind of started happening. And then
Right.
Okay, that we're getting back.
Yeah. Yeah, I've written, and by the way, just as a side note, I watched, because I've been following you for a while.
Yeah, you have been.
I watched your account explode, by the way. I remember when I was telling you that you should have way more than 35,000 followers. And then one day I just stopped seeing you, probably because I quit scrolling.
Hmm.
Um, like I didn't take a step back. I just quit scrolling. I was putting up videos and then I was focusing on other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I found you in the FYP and was like, huh. And I click on your thing and it's like over 100. Damn. Okay. Well, now he's finally. And I was, and my first thought was good for you, like about damn time, because I had thought from the very beginning that 35 should have had an M next to it, not a K. Like it
Oh,
just,
thanks, man.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
For real, just like, because I don't know how you come up with half the shit you put on there. First of all, and then like you said, having to memorize it and actually do it. I wrote I wrote one parody,
Uh-huh.
and I do not have a voice. Like if basically it, like
Oh,
what I
hold on real quick. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. What's she saying?
get your pants back on.
Is who? Oh, I don't know. We'll check. All right.
You shouldn't be touching that.
Okay, I'll check. Alexa, in call. So if you have an Alexa, we use it as an intercom.
Yeah.
So I was like, she did the page where it just drops in. It doesn't give you a chance to answer.
Right.
She's asking for dinner, and I was like, okay, we'll get it for you in a moment. So
Right.
you were saying, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I ended up writing one parody because I don't have a singing voice at all. Like my voice right now is deeper because, like, you remember when you got sick and everyone wanted that like Western Clint Eastwood sound, and I was like, and I was like, dude, you got to stay sick because people are digging this voice. Um, that's kind of what I've got going on right now. Is like I don't know if it's deeper, but from what I'm hearing in my own ears, my voice is like so down there. It's never this deep. But I wrote a parody and I know I don't have a singing voice, so I reached out to a couple of people that could sing it. And I haven't found the right one yet. I might actually pass it on to you to see what you think. Have you ever heard of Son of a Preacher Man?
Yeah.
Okay, so to that tune, I wrote a whole parody called Son of a Pizza Man. And it actually is really good. Like
Well,
the
you already
lyrics.
one of the things I have found, at least with parodies, is that whenever you're using the beat that's already been used before, coming up with the hook that's very similar sounding. So son of a preacher man, son of a pizza man, you have that similarity. Those are big things, I think. In my experience, that kind of catch the listener's eye. But you should do it. I mean, I don't have a singing voice. I mean, I can do a rap, but even then I don't have the rap voice. But then again, I was like, well, who's gonna do it? Who am I gonna get to do it? I was like, nobody. And if I do find somebody, they're gonna want money for it or something. And I was like, forget that. I was like, I'll wing it, because there's a lot of stuff that I'll come up with that is if it's singing, I'm like, oh, that's way out of my range. But I'll still attempt it, just at a different octave, because I'm like, that's what I got. I was like, I'm not here for you to say, oh, he's an amazing singer. I'm here for you to listen to the words.
Right. Oh my God, mine would sound like a dying cat though. Even when I'm not sick, my voice is a cross between a dying cat and nails on a chalkboard. It's right in there. Seriously, I don't have a singing voice, and I got that from my dad. Actually, I think I got it from both my parents. I think my mom used to think she could sing. But she can't.
We have similar here, just in case it's ever. We have similar stories without being specific.
Oh, gotcha. There you go. Yeah. My
Don't
mom used to
buy a
always think she could sing. But I found with her, when it got outside the realm of like the slow, soft voices, she couldn't sing at all. You know. And the I can't say the weird part or the bad part because I really don't care. But where my voice is, if I were to sing a song and actually stay on tune, it would be like high pitch.
Yeah.
That's where my voice is. Like singing, I don't know what you listen to, but singing like Higher from Teo Cruz,
Uh-huh.
I can hit those notes.
Oh, man. Sorry, I got a little dark there, but I'm gonna move.
Sorry.
You're moving
Yeah.
around too.
Hell yeah. Do your thing.
Yeah, I don't have those high notes at all. Maybe like when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
But
Well, the weird part is you would think with my voice I'd be able to hit the low keys, but the low keys is where it sounds horrible. But then when I go high, my voice doesn't crack, and it doesn't sound like nails. It actually, like, I can hit those notes. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here?
that's pretty impressive.
It would seriously, it would be like Clint Eastwood, like singing a Celine Dion song. It doesn't make any sense.
But it works.
But it works. But yeah, Son of a Pizza Man. That was my song.
I like it. You're gonna have to send it to me. I would love to read what you put down.
Yeah, man, I'll send it to you. And like I said, I'll send it to you, and if you want to sing it, then do it. I mean, because I'm not gonna do it.
You can definitely drop the octave on that and still sound decent on it. So yeah, send it to me, man. We'll see what we can do.
And no, I don't want money. I just want someone that I know that has a better voice than me.
Oh, you get major shout out, man. To be like, this is my boy,
right?
This is my boy.
Hell yeah!
My friend needed CPR, now he's dead.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you still wear that shirt too. I've seen it a couple of times.
I do still wear it. My kids love it. They think it's funny, and then they're like, what is the name on the back? And I was like, well, don't say the name. I was like,
right?
That's my friend from TikTok. It's his merchandise. I said I saw the shirts and I was like, I got to get one. So yeah, I still have that shirt. Still wear it.
Nice. I've actually, and the funny thing is that store has gone to a screeching halt. I'm basically the only one that buys from there now is me, and I don't care. I really don't care. Since you bought that one, I think I've added more. I think I have 18 or 19 lines on there now. And I buy them.
But then again, you're, like you said, you're not posting. Before, when you were posting and showing that, you were getting some flow there for a while, it seemed.
It was mainly likes and comments, but like even people that were like, yeah, I'll share it, they never did. That's a lot about social media I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. First of all, you can't get anything out unless you push it, and then you get punished for pushing it. And then the people that act like they support you. Oh yeah, I'll share it, and then they don't. So it's like, don't lie. Just don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't like my stuff and you don't want to share it, then just say no. I've had that a couple of times, and I actually thanked them, and they didn't know how to react to it. I reached out and I said, hey, could you share this around? And they said, no, I really don't like it. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. Like you were honest.
You were just
that
honest.
Time, right? Someone finally, like, oh no, if I were to share this around, my religious friends wouldn't like it. Okay, great, thank you. At least you told me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. interesting too, kind of finding the dynamic, because each account I have found, like, there are accounts that are essentially people, that is what they do. They duet, they post, they share, that's what they build it off of. And then, like, since I'm doing the parodies, what I have found is like, if at least the way I saw it is like, well, if I'm going to do parodies, then I'm going to stick with parodies. I'm going to make it a parodies page, essentially. I'm not going to veer off of that too often. Every now and then I'll do like a sync or something, but I actually talked to a social media manager that I had met at a conference, and we were, and it was actually a work conference for retirement planning, but her daughter is a social media, I guess you could say, star right now. She's making like $4 million a year. She's 14 years old.
Jesus.
Yeah. And with all due respect, I mean, I've seen the page, I've seen what she posts, and there is really this media or social media just persona. It's like you're not doing anything. You're not really. Almost like you're not presenting anything as far as like a talent or anything. It's just you're either pretty, or people like to look at you, or whatever the case may be, and that's what the seller is. And we were talking, and she was like, well, you should do trends and find out what trends they're doing and then jump on those trends. And I said, but I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that's the latest trend, that's what I'm doing, or that's the cool thing now. That's what I was like, no, I do these parody songs. If anything, I would love to write, like, be able to write this stuff. I said, I don't want to be the one performing it. But you have to figure out what you're going to do. And then, like you said, be able to figure out how to tell people. Like, I had somebody reach out to me, and they were like, hey, can you write me a song about us or something? And I was like, well, I said, you know what? I'm going to kind of keep this just a performance page. I don't want to, I don't want to mix in things like that too often. Cause I would do birthday stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they were fine with it. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Cool. Thanks for, and I have no problem chatting and everything with them on the app and whatnot. But it was one of those things. It was like, I had to decide, especially as the account started growing, because people come at you quick. I mean, it's and I hate to say it this way, it's almost this false celebrity, so to speak. You just because my account is where it's at. I mean, it's great. I'm glad I get it. I'm not doing it. There's nothing happening with it. It's not like, oh, it's generating income. I'm making $100,000 a year off of this thing, or getting shown play. But people act that way towards you, and it's kind of like, hey, man, I go to work just like you. I do this like you. Don't sweat it. It's really not that big a deal. But people, and it's cool to see people get excited, but at the same time, it's like, hey, man, I'm just like you. Don't even worry about it. It's all cool.
You kind of had to look at it from the outside and be like, well, do I want to be a request page, or do I want to do my own thing? Because I mean, if you turned into the request page, then everything that you're posting would be pointing at a comment and then singing a song someone else asked you to do, which, I mean, if that's your thing, then do it. But like you said, it's kind of like the false celebrity status. And even that whole thing bothers me too. Oh my God. I've said this before to someone else I spoke to. The whole internet celebrity thing. Like, okay, say 1 out of a million chance YouTube channel actually blows up, because I'm talking to ordinary people. I'm not talking to celebrities, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a celebrity, you're not a celebrity, but we're sitting here shooting the shit. And and I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, say 1 in a billion chance this channel takes off and I become that YouTube internet celebrity. I don't want to change. Like, I've had money before that made me feel rich. I don't want it, and I didn't let it affect my personality. I gave out more than I spent. Like, I don't ever want to be that person that's like, yeah, I'm famous on YouTube. Yeah. Like,
exactly. My family filled this whole thing with cheese already.
Well, yeah. That's not enough cheese. You got to put more in there.
Well, I had another bag. I bought like a 5-pound bag from Sam's, and they killed it. So
Come on, more.
oh well, yeah.
I'm looking at it. That's not enough. Keep going.
That's not for me. That's for my wife.
It don't matter. You got to stir that in and then put more in.
Are you kidding me? She'll be so constipated if I do that. Oh, great. That one's going to make it in.
Yeah, there you go.
She's like, why are you talking about my problems? I was like,
yeah,
I'm
no,
just joking.
that's what I do with if it's chili or pasta and I'm melting cheese on it.
Uh-huh.
Layer of cheese goes in, then I stir it in, and then I put another layer of cheese on. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that.
It's so good. I pay for it, but it's good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that, man. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I like it when Starbucks hits stuff. Ranch, Hidden Valley Ranch sent me a ranch shirt.
Yeah.
Like that was cool, but it's like the whole I don't know, that celebrity thing. I just you see. I think you've seen it so many times. Like this whole I'm so and so because I make so much money. I'm like, man, I think especially in my world, I've been around company owners, and you see what they make, those owners of companies, as opposed to like an actor, and you're like, oh geez, man, these guys are banking just as hard. And I can walk by him and he's gonna look at me and say, hey, how's it going? You doing all right? Just
right
without anything. So that's when you start, I don't want to be that other vibe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and that's a lot of the reasons why I didn't reach out to any verified or blue check marks. And I've said this before too. That blue check mark, believe it or not, is a really good thing for someone like me, because you get to see who people really are the moment they get it. The moment they get that blue check mark, are they the same person they were when they were building up to it, or do they all of a sudden become that I'm wearing a crown now, you can't talk to me? You know what I mean? That
No.
blue check mark is actually, like, you had to have seen it on there, on TikTok especially. How many, you tell me you've never had an account that you followed that actually like answered the comments and was good to the people, and then they got that blue check mark, and all of a sudden they're like sitting on a throne and you're not allowed to talk to them.
Well, I will say one of the things that I noticed, especially with my account, because like you said, I started off small, then I kind of had a little jump, and I was stuck at like for a while.
Yeah.
Before they hit, and there were accounts that I was following that they wouldn't talk to me, and then when my account passed theirs, then they started talking to me.
Yep.
And it was like, why? It was like
because now you can give them a push.
Well, see, and that's the thing. You start going, is it just because I have this, higher following, or it was like I always interacted and you never interacted, and then I feel bad too, because like some of the videos that do well, I really do try to go back and answer every comment on the. I really do.
Sometimes you can't though.
You just can't, and so sometimes I go back and if I find, like someone said, I think someone did mention, man, this guy doesn't respond to comments. I said, hey, my bad. Just I don't have time to do them all, but thank you for commenting. Go, and got no problem. But yeah, man, I now that I have seen, and then or even I heard there was like a Vegas thing last year. Last year I think it was. People went out there and they were excited to see their creators that they followed, and were finding out that they were charging to do duets with them and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, oh well, you want me to be posted on your page because I got the blue check mark. That's $50. That's $100. Yeah. I was like, for what? To post
for what?
For
Like, dude, you are not Johnny Depp.
Yeah, no.
You're not Leonardo DiCaprio. You're not even fucking like David Spade, who is one of my favorites but falls on the low end. You're just a TikTok dude.
Right.
Like, get the fuck over yourself.
Exactly. Hey,
And
let me run this up to my wife real quick.
how dare you? Yeah, go ahead.
All
I gotta pull a coolie while he's gone. Everything seems so foggy. I can't see anything in the background. Oh, there he goes, going up the stairs. And he's gone. What do you think's gonna happen when he gets up there? Think he's gonna be shackled, not allowed to come back down? Hmm. My voice is gonna go high pitch. There are gonna be times that I sound like I'm going through puberty. But it's okay. You'll live. Oh, he's coming back. There he is. He's walking around. Oh, stop talking about him.
Alexa, table lamp on.
Okay.
Oh dear God.
The table lamp on.
I would get in so much trouble with one of those. Oh my God. Like I don't have my house wired with an Alexa, but I'm way too sarcastic. I would get in so much trouble.
Well, we have it usually works pretty good. Alexa, table lamp on.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Right? How dare she make you reach over there?
I'm like-
Damn it, Alexa.
Well, then no, actually, it makes me go. Well, then who turned it off? So we
Right.
had got. Actually, I think it was when it may have been when we got the Alexas. They had given me smart. It was like smart bulbs, and
Yeah.
we got like one with the Alexa, and so we learned how to set them up and everything. And so now we walk in and we're like, turn on the light, this on, and it's great, but she doesn't always listen. So sometimes she's like, whatever.
Right? Oh my God, dude. I really would though, because I'd have it wired up to everything. And those mornings where like my wife needs to get out of bed and she won't get out of bed, I would have Alexa just blast the stereo that's next to her head, because she has like I don't even know what the hell you call the speaker. I'm not tech savvy at all, but it's a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Can hook it up to anything in the house. And if I had access to that shit, oh my God. If I could just be like, Alexa, turn on the speaker, or God, what do we call it? What do we call that? Tailgate. I think we call it tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what my wife called that thing, is the tailgate. They're like, Alexa, turn on tailgate. And then at full blast, the music would come out right next to my wife's head. Like, get out of bed.
Yeah, you're probably getting a lot of that one.
Oh, I've been married to her for 10 years. If I'm not dead yet, I'm fine.
That's what. So my wife and I, we've been married. Goodness, we've been together 20. I think we've been married 19 years, and
you still have your hair?
I still have. Well, some you could tell, like right there, it's starting to creep on back.
Yeah, that shit right there. See that?
Yeah, you got it right there. Mine is like here, and then it's starting to back here. So
yeah, but that's cool. You got that badass V thing going on. You got the forehead for that though. Like I've got a patch here.
I do have the V, so I can comb it back, and it doesn't look, you makes you look kind of cool. But
Got that slick back, and then I noticed you got the sides of your head shaved.
yeah, so I had for the longest time I had my hair grown out, and that was only because my wife liked it. And but I've always loved my hair short, and just so much easier to mess with and deal with. So now that we've been together so long, I am like, well, what are you gonna do? Leave me? It's like, so
Right?
I'm just gonna cut
Exactly.
it short. I was like,
Listen, with all the, because she'll give it right back to me. That's what I love the most about this woman, is it's not just I'm not the problem child. You know what I mean? It's both of us. Like, okay, so you got the same thing. We give each other shit all the time.
all the time.
Tell me, how many times have you two been out in public together and the way you were talking to each other, you got those looks from people, but all you were doing was joking around. Like you're giving her shit, she's giving you
Oh,
shit. And you have those looks from other married men, like, oh my God, how's he still alive?
we get that with our family because we'll be with our family or my
Yeah,
family, and we'll make comments to each other, and they're like, Reuben, and I'm like, I'm joking. I was like, and then Jen will go, he's joking, mom, or you
yeah.
know, hey, and then or I'm like,
Your wife's name is Jen?
Jennifer, yeah,
That is creepy.
is that yours? Is that your
Jenna.
wife? Jenna? Okay,
Yep.
so your wife is Jenna. I have another friend named Clint. His wife is Jennifer.
That's funny.
About
That
something,
is funny.
and
Right?
she's like that too. They've been together for a long time, and she gives it to him just as bad as he does. But that's what makes it so much fun. The like she totally despises my TikTok account. Totally. She follows it so she can see what I'm putting up there, but
Yeah.
she totally despises it. And
Why?
she'll tell me it's not her humor. It's not her humor.
Oh,
We're
okay.
totally opposite. So she'll go, you wrote that. I'm like, yes. You could have sang it better, or you could have done it better. And I was like, I'm not trying to be perfect. And she's like, yeah, but you could have done it better than that.
Right?
I'm just,
But like
so I'm just,
opposite sense of humor, I'm wondering, so like she doesn't like the crude. She doesn't like the dark stuff.
she, she watches like on TikTok. She watches a lot of dogs, like the
Oh,
dog
okay.
humor. And don't
Gotcha.
get me wrong, it can be crude, but she relates the funny more with the animals
Yeah, I
than an
gotcha.
actual video or post. So it doesn't matter how clever my my lyrics are. And she's told me this before. I didn't marry you because
Right?
so I was like, well, you're right. You didn't set the expectation
Right?
for. So yeah, with her, she just has her own humor, and
Dude, the things that I used to put up on TikTok, come on, that whole God, what was it? Things a married man will say to his wife if he has a death wish.
yes,
That was one of my favorite series that I've
those
ever done.
fun. Those were funny. That one, and I love the awkward face poses, like when you
Yep.
would when you would ca-
Yep. The awkward, yeah, the awkward screenshots.
there you go. It was like those were awesome.
Yep.
And that's the funny part was there was some good stuff like that I loved. I thought was hilarious because I was like, oh my god, that's exactly what you wouldn't say to your wife because you
Yeah.
knew you were in some serious trouble. And but it's so funny what people look at and listen to, and even some of the stuff that I've seen that I've posted that I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put it out there, and it did well, and I'm like, but why? And
Right.
and so that's why with as I started posting, I started realizing it doesn't matter how good I think it is.
No.
Uh, it's really what others are gonna think. So I was like, well, if you have it, just put it out there.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, they don't like it.
Yeah.
But the funny part is as you start getting more flow of people, man, people really do try to knock you off and make you feel
Yeah.
bad. Personally, I find it hilarious. I think
Oh my God, I love that part, dude.
I
So
it's the best. It's the
I
best.
so I was putting up those videos, and of course the people that know me on there, the ones that were following and watching all my stuff, they would laugh and they'd say, "Oh my God, like how are you still alive?" That kind of thing. But I'd have those people that are like, "That's really mean. You shouldn't say that." But I would reply to them like, "Oh, my wife was sitting right there. It's fine." Like, um, I wouldn't tell them, "Hey, it was a joke." I'd say, "Nah, my wife was in the room. I'm okay."
I'm okay.
But like at the end of the video, I literally say like, like this for part two because I might not survive. And I enjoyed putting that part on there.
Yeah.
But I was gonna do another part anyway. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
I wasn't like 500 likes for part two. No, I was like, fucking, I'm gonna do a part two anyway. I don't care. That's literally just a little hook.
Because you
Like
want
I might, yeah, like I might not live that long. But that's the selfish part about the things that I do, because I've done stand up before. I've actually
Oh
gone
yeah.
on stage and told jokes. Um, I didn't do it for them. I've never put a single thing on the internet, funny or otherwise, for anybody else. Like,
Yeah.
and I learned that when I was doing stand up is if I'm not having fun doing it, then I'm not going to be able to convince you to have fun doing it.
Mhm.
So it always starts here. As selfish as that sounds, but I never edit my videos just like here. So every video you've ever seen me put on TikTok was the first take. Um, into my head a certain way, I would say it another way, and then I'd say, "Well, that's not the way I thought of it." Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay, I heard the beep beep beep. Did Alexa call you again?
No, I'm good. Is it you
Oh,
sure it's not yours? Sure it's not your side?
it might be, it might be mine. I might have something in my house that I'm not aware of. Yeah, but yeah, I put it up, and even though it wasn't exactly the way I thought of it, I still posted it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were a few times where people were like, "Hey, talk about this, talk about that," and depending on the subject, I'd usually say no,
Yeah.
depending on what the subject was. But everyone was like, "You got to find a niche. You got to find a niche." No, I don't, because to me, niches are boring. Like I had a niche when I first did my YouTube channel. I had a niche, and I got bored with it really, really fast,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I
hell
couldn't have fun with it anymore.
no. No.
Oh, was that may have been what I heard. Hello,
No. No.
hi.
No.
You,
What?
you gotta stop saying no.
Uh,
That's mine.
that's yours.
One of mine.
Yeah, that's
Sleep
one. See, the other one's up. There's another one up here. There's
sleeping right on the damn toy.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep there. See, look, I got one up top.
Oh,
One.
hey, are you
Am I what?
right?
Oh, I can't. It broke up. I can't hear you.
Hear me?
There it goes, like a little bit.
What in the hell is going on?
There it goes. Now I hear you.
Okay. You're on a phone?
Yeah.
All right, so tap the big part of the screen, which I think is my ugly face,
Okay.
and hit the three dots at the bottom, and
Okay.
then click enable background blur. Turn that off. There you go. Now show the dogs.
Now, oh, it was making it blurry. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Akira.
Yeah.
That's youngest Sheltie.
See you can see the difference too.
Yeah.
There you go. Hi.
That's there goes Kaya.
There's another one. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I call Aurora. I call her I call her the whore, because she and yeah,
The
I know
attention whore.
edited, but I call her the whore because she'll come and lay on my lap and she'll bark at me like she just did, and I'll go what, and then she'll flop on her back for me to
Yeah.
pet her, and I'm like, you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the attention whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know what that is.
So
Oh
yeah, and
yeah, man.
so I had kind of like what you said, man. I had and it's funny because you don't realize it until you're in the, oh look, she's like what, she looks like she's gonna smack you.
Oh no, this is a boy.
Oh, or he looks okay, he looked like almost like he was gonna smack you for a moment, but now he's just,
No, that's just the way he lays down. He's just
okay.
like, yeah, what do you want?
So I was gonna say, you know, you almost fall down this path of um oh, maybe I should do that, like what they're doing, and that'll make me successful. But like you said,
Yeah.
and and I don't think it's being selfish. I think it's just, if you want to have fun, that's how you got to do it. And it's like, no, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel that I should have to do this or do that to get any type of recognition. I just gonna do what I want, and then
Right.
if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Then move on.
Oh,
You know.
God, I hate trends.
Oh, you know
I
what?
own,
That the one that really got under my skin. Tell me you're married without telling me. Tell me this without
oh my God.
my
And people are still doing that shit.
yes. I'm like, if I just hear, nope, 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 I don't even want to hear it no more.
I put one on there, and one of them, I think the one that I put on there when I was really like at the end of my rope with it was "Tell me nothing without telling me nothing," and I posted it. And the reaction I got to that was fucking hilarious because people were like, "Am I allowed to comment here?" Like, nope, because that's more than nothing. Shh, quiet. Yeah, I got sick of that one too. Oh my God, that was fucking horrible.
So one day
Um,
I did a joke about it, and I'm scrolling on the phone. I'm making it look like I'm scrolling on the phone, and I just kept saying, "Tell me you're married. Tell me this. Tell me that." And then
yeah,
I look up at the camera and I said, "I'm so tired of this trend." And
yeah,
then I had a friend that duetted me, and she's like, "Oh my God, I was about to post one like this until I saw your video."
yep,
So
yep.
but I was just so done with it. I was so done with
I
that.
think I think maybe I don't even know how many videos I've posted up, but I think I've maybe participated in I don't know, maybe 10 trends, maybe 10.
I think I'm actually I could probably say right like maybe over five
Yeah,
if that, because one of them I did was because my friends on TikTok who I talked to like you, they did a coffee mug thing where they winked at like a certain thing, and I was
yeah,
like, and they had reached out to me like, "Hey, Reuben, can you do this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. It's all the people I hang out with. Yeah, no problem."
yeah,
And did that. But other than that, I mean, I really like. I think, and then anytime I made it seem like I was doing a trend, I would make a mockery of it because I remember
yes,
one was
same
yeah,
every
it
time.
was like, oh, the like a dance trend. Like I did one where they were doing this dance trend, but I looked like I was having a seizure, and
Yeah,
and, and I did that on purpose. I was like, I don't know how to dance, so I don't know how to
right?
dance like that. So I'm gonna make it
Oh, I
look like
got uh,
I'm having a
my
seizure.
my favorite one I made a mockery of was that "Marry Me Juliet" one.
Oh,
Uh,
the where they roll the is that it's a Taylor Swift song?
yeah, yeah, but it was people that were "Marry Me Juliet." They would fake opening up the friggin' the engagement ring, and then they would go into dancing to the song. Um, that was a lot of them, and then a lot of them were like groups of Backstreet Boys that were trying to do thirst traps for the song. And I made a complete mockery of it because I'm already married. So I got to that part where it said, marry me, Juliet, I love you, and that's all you need to know." And then I had my wife come into the camera and beat the hell out of me with a pillow, screaming, "Who the hell's Juliet?" And
Who the hell?
the video went nowhere, but it was the funnest one ever. And I was like, if I can't do trends like this, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, I
I did
agree,
it.
man. See that's what I never jumped on that bandwagon, and I did that. The only thing I'll do every once in a while is like I did a duet the other day, and I did it because it was The Sandlot, and I love The Sandlot. That's
Oh yes, dude, the Sandlot's awesome.
one of my favorites. So I did like that. Oh, and then I did the uh, Josh Gates one where he's watching Jeopardy,
Yeah,
and he says, "What is a threesome?" And or no, he goes, "What is a love triangle?" And the girl goes, "What is a threesome?" And he goes, "What is your
yeah,
number?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that one, I was like, my wife loves Josh Gate. Like, she's in
Yeah,
love with him. And we were
that's
laughing
hilarious.
so hard at that one. It was
What
just
is your number?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, what's the love triangle? What is your number?
right. What is your number?
I loved it. It was so, and that like that, but that's the humor I like, and
Yeah,
it's hard to find that on the app, even when you're specifically liking stuff like that. It doesn't always put you in, because for the longest time I swear it was girls with big boobs like on every swipe, and I was like, how is
Yeah.
this even? It wasn't that I was liking them. I was like, how is this even feeding into what
Yeah.
what I'm looking at here?
It's unfortunately TikTok is very, very slow, and it's gonna happen, but it's very slowly becoming Instagram and Snapchat.
It
Very, very
is.
slowly. It's getting there. Like
Well, I
you
wouldn't
see
even say
lot.
slowly. Now
Yeah.
they got stories. Now they
Yeah.
have up to 3 minutes, and
They're
like
going
all of
up to
this.
10 now.
See, and all of all of what made it what it was is starting to drift away, and it's
Yeah.
like,
It's not
oh,
it's not its own thing anymore. It's just
yeah,
becoming the same thing as everything else. And dude, like you scroll through the FYP, I stumbled across a live where this chick was practically stripping. I'm like, first of all, no. Secondly, why is this here? This isn't the app for this shit. Like, I don't care. You do you, boo boo, but it doesn't belong here.
yeah, that's on OnlyFans.
Or fucking Instagram or Snapchat, but it does not belong on. And no, I'm not one of those people that's like kids scroll TikTok. Kids scroll everywhere.
Oh, they scroll everywhere.
Give
There's
me that shit. Kids are 12 and under go everywhere.
well, and even the stuff because of course, like my kids love anime. They
Yeah.
love, and one of them got me watching. I forget what it was called, but he asked me one day. He was like, "Hey, can you watch it with me?" And I said, "Sure." And it was actually really good. It was a good
Yeah.
story, but the outfits, and I was like, "That's,"
Yeah.
and I couldn't say anything because I mean technically they're clothed, but
Yeah.
by much.
Not by much. Yeah.
Like, oh,
Like, are you into anime or is it just your kids?
my kids are now. I'm slowly they're introducing me to stuff little by little, and
So if you want to get into one that isn't, it's violent. However, the main character is trying not to be violent, which makes it a good show. And it's not pornographic, unlike most anime. It's very old though; it's hard to find. It's called Ramoni Kenshin.
Ramoni Kenjin.
Ramoni Kenshin.
Okay, Ramoni Kenshin. Is it on
Yeah.
Crunchyroll?
I think you might be able to find it there. Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's where I found it.
I ended up getting one of those subscriptions because they love watching that stuff so much. Oh, Demon Slayer was the one that I
Oh,
watched.
yep.
I
I
watched,
know
which
about that
was
one.
great. It was an amazing show. Like I was like, oh wow, this is pretty good. And they were filling me in on the background to that point. And but I was really into it. And then my son, I started making him laugh because I said, every time they talk, it's so aggressive. It sounds like they're saying Mexican food names. And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like enchilada, tostada. I was like, it just the accent of it. I said you literally could say Spanish words with this, and it sounds like it would go perfectly. And
Yeah, right.
so he was laughing, but of course then he got mad because I was teasing him a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But
Don't dog my show, Dad.
well, it's funny because my middle son loves mountain monsters. That's one of his shows.
Nice.
He loves watching those guys go hunt for the monsters, and we've watched that show for years when it like first started, before they get to where they're at.
Right.
And we were watching it, and what he hates is every time it starts coming on, I'm like, that's fake, right? And he's like, Dad, no, it's not, Dad. I was like, I'm just saying, And so he's like, don't. So anytime I look at him, he's like, don't, Dad, don't say it.
Don't say it.
And I said, Reese, what are you doing? They're in the woods, and then when they break away to the interview, they're screaming in the cameras, and then they get away, and then they're like, quiet. I was like, dude, whatever
Right.
there is gone. They scared it.
Yeah. Like it's completely fake.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
he
Sorry.
loves.
If this were real, there would not be breakaways to interviews.
Yeah, exactly. So but it's good entertainment. So he
Yeah.
he loves watching. That's one of his favorites, and it's funny to watch that. My wife is a real big. She loves like Dead Files, um, uh, like Paranormal Witness, those stuff. Like she goes to sleep to that stuff.
Oh my
Like,
God. Okay.
oh,
Here's another similarity.
okay.
Here's another one. My wife goes to bed to
To what?
Candyman,
Oh
uh, The Shining, Candyman,
no.
Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist. She goes to bed to that shit. And then she'll wake up and she'll be like what do you mean? Like she'll what do you mean what's wrong with you? Like she goes like yeah, she goes to bed to that shit. She
Okay.
goes to bed to horror movies.
It's so what my wife will do. She'll go on to like on demand, and she'll stream like essentially a season of Dead Files to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
And some point at night, I start having a dream, some, and I wake
Yeah.
up with the TV,
Yeah.
and I'm, dude, please stop. I was like, I can't. I'm having these night, and it's not that I'm scared. It's just that subconsciously that stuff is seeping in my ear, and it's
Yeah.
making a story out of it. And
Yeah.
and and
Exactly.
I, if you know my mind's pretty good at making stories.
Yes. Hey, come on, man.
So I,
If women love serial killer documentaries and documentaries about murder
okay,
because
now
it teaches them things.
I do love the documentaries. That's me as opposed to my wife. Um, I do like listening. I got on a I saw this series on Netflix called Mindhunter, and it
Yep.
was yeah. So it
Yep.
great story, right? And it just talks about how the FBI came into profiling these type of killers and who they talked to and
Yep.
uh, stuff like that. And I was like, man, it was such a great story. And so I started documentaries after I saw that. I started watching documentaries just to find out what happened and what was going on. And it's just, and then I don't know what was more upsetting. It wasn't watching the documentaries. I think it was the fact that I was realizing people have the capability to do stuff like that. Like,
Oh yeah.
you see it in the movies and you're like, oh, that's a scary movie. And then you're like, oh, wait, that happened? Like that?
Yeah, that actually happened.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I ended up yep, I ended up watching the documentaries on all of the most famous serial killers, and I stopped to wonder what the hell was wrong with me because I was glued to it. You know what I mean? Like the John Wayne Gacy
yep.
and Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, all of those. And then anytime there was like interview with a serial killer, click. Like, why am I doing this? First of all,
It's probably because we're trying to make sure it's not us.
right? Like,
We're like,
dude, like,
I don't
I
like.
mean,
I don't.
exactly. Like subconsciously, I think I'm like, when I don't think I think like this. Good, good. I'm in the clear. Like, I'm
Like,
trying to
woo.
self-analyze. Like, ooh, God. Like, do I think what they're saying is horrible? Because if not, I've got to go to therapy. Oh,
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Oh, good. Okay. It bothers me. Good.
No, that's horrible. That's not horrible. Okay, good. We're all right. We're all right.
Right? Oh.
That- yeah, it's so hard to now. What I have been able to do lately is my son actually found it. My youngest son, he watches the ASMR videos. He's on the spectrum, so it's
Okay.
uh, he likes kind of the auditory things, not loud, but just like a focus sound. So one of the things that he'll watch is there's one where this guy cooks and he eats, and they kind of have like a mic there. So he'll watch that, and it for him it's calming. It's like he'll fall asleep to that. But he had found this sleep one where it was kind of like this uh, background ambiance music with this almost neon artscape. It was real beautiful, but they had it animated, so they had like it was underwater, so you could see fish swimming and stuff like that. And
Nice.
my wife was like, "Oh, that's actually really relaxing." So now when we go to bed, I put that on first to try to. This is what we're gonna watch, right?
Like we're gonna watch.
Yeah.
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 Opposed to Dead Files.
Yeah.
So like no man, I can't do it. I start having
Her kick for the past few months has actually been Coraline, which is supposed to that's
that.
supposed to be a kid's cartoon.
I absolutely love that movie, and it is such a jacked up movie at the same time. It's a great
It's
movie.
supposed to be for children,
No,
which makes no sense at all.
no, because I remember when I first saw Coraline, like when I very first saw it, I was like, "This is a messed up cartoon." And then as I watched it again, I found I really liked it, but I think for me, and maybe just because of my background and growing up, I saw it as my stepmother. Like, she saw the altar mother, but I saw it was like, oh, you have your real family, and then that's your step family, and they're trying to hurt you. And that was kind of not necessarily physically, but that was the experience I had. So seeing that, I think that's what made it even more real for me. I was like, that's the stepmom trying to hurt me. And then just seeing how relentless she was to try to catch her and get her. And then I was, oh man, it hit real close to home. And then of course, then they had like the little kids singing to the, the minor chords in the background. And then it just sounds eerie, kind of like Tubular Bells for Exorcist, right? I mean, that wasn't meant to be for Exorcist. That was written before it as a beautiful piece of music, and now I associate it with the girl throwing up and spinning her head.
Yeah. Right?
So
exactly. Dude, the first time I ever watched Coraline, it was with my children because I had heard of it, but I had never watched it. I never had a reason to watch it. First time I ever watched it was with them, and that night when I put them to bed, I searched my whole house for holes and like hidden tunnels and shit that I may not have known was there. I went all around my house. I looked for dolls in their rooms.
If I would have
I
lived,
didn't.
because my grandmother at my grandmother's house growing up, before my grandfather had renovated, they had a square in the wall, and it's not a big home, but it was a square in the wall. And I'm like, well, what's that? Like, what is that for? What? And they're like, oh, it was just there. And I was like, well, what do you mean it was there? Just
You didn't open it. You didn't open
like,
it.
Didn't even try. I was like, no, don't want to know.
Buttons for you. No
Yeah,
buttons for you.
no buttons. Yeah, just we're just gonna put buttons on your eyes. No, it's all right. I'm good.
Thanks. I don't need buttons in my eyes. I appreciate it. I don't, because like at first in the movie she thought it was a dream.
Right.
And what baffled me is when she realized it was actually real and still went in. Like, I get that kids are stupid, but she's really, really fucking stupid. Because I even asked my kids, like from my 14-year-old all the way down to my 7-year-old, we're watching the movie, and I was like, "Would you go in there?" And all four of them were like, "Hell no." My kids don't swear. They know that even hell, like they'll say heck, and they'll ask if that's okay to say. And we're watching that movie, and they're like, "Hell no!" Like all four of them in unison. I was like, "Oh, good. Let's just keep watching then. I have nothing to worry about."
Yeah.
All of them were like, "Absolutely not. Hell no."
Like, are you kidding me? If I found out that was real, we'd be moving.
Yeah, exactly.
She could come get some other kids.
Right?
That freaky thing too is that when you see it, it's like, oh, we're just gonna sew these on your eyes, and it was like, what? It's like, what kind of sick, twisted? It's like,
I mean, it explains it all, but still, it doesn't water down the fact that it's a really sick and twisted kind of movie. It really is. Like it
really go Tim.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but look at all the other pieces of work. You know what I mean? It's not the first, and damn sure won't be the last.
Well, and it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. And one thing I do like about Tim Burton is that he does what he wants.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily he has a niche. I know it tends to be this dark gray kind of movie stuff, and usually Halloween themed or dark themed, but it's what he wants to do,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if it does well. Like when Willy Wonka came out with Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka is one of my favorite movies too. It was the original. I love the original. But when
Yes.
I saw this one, I purposely said, I said to myself, look at it not as a continuation or a redo of the original. Look at it as its own movie. It's
Yes.
like
You have to.
as if it was never done before. And I loved it. I saw it and I was like, that's a great, he did such a great job. And he got ripped so bad for it. And
Yeah.
but I was like, well, don't compare it to the original. The original is its own. Nobody's trying to do that. He's doing this for a new generation of kids and people. And we're fortunate that we were able to see the original and also see his. But I actually saw it as two separate things, and now they're coming up with another one. I don't know if he's directing it, but it's the story of Wonka and how he meets the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
And it just so happened I found out about that because we watched Dune. My wife and I, let's watch Dune, that new series. I heard it was pretty good, and it was good. Well, that guy, the lead guy in Dune, plays Wonka as a younger,
Nice.
and he fits the role because he's got the dark hair, he's got the pale skin, he's got a Tim Burton vibe,
Yeah.
So like, oh, this is gonna be pretty cool to see how he pulls this off. So yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
I was actually talking about that today. God, there's so much shit. Like, I don't even watch a whole lot of TV. It takes a lot to suck me in. But then again, like, I'm sure you've done it too. You have those moments where it's like you click on something because you're curious, and then you watch it and you're like, this sucks, but you just keep watching it.
Yeah, I'm
It's
more,
either like you don't want to lift the remote or just
or you'll just pick up your phone. You're like, oh, I'll just
yeah,
let pick up my phone. I love comedies.
yeah.
I love to laugh. So one of the shows I recently started watching was Letterkenny, and I had I never I came across it on YouTube, and it was like I think it was Shorzy was the character that I came across.
Yeah.
And I was like, Letterkenny. And so I went on to Hulu, and they had 10 seasons of this. And I was like, what is this show? So I watched the first few, and then I binge watched, and I fell in love with the show. And
Nice.
and it was like, oh my God, that's a good series. So now I'm waiting for the next season. But I love the comedy of it. I love how he's always so serious, but yet he's funny with it. And they're just, of course, overplaying the whole country Canadian folk.
Yeah.
But they do it so well. And of course, then I went on YouTube and I was like, where are the bloopers to this? And they are just as good as the as the actual show. So now that was like, I love checking out the bloopers
Right.
after going and seeing like, oh, what made him break or what made him struggle to get through that.
Some of them, man. Some of those things you watch it and like how many takes? How many? There is
Yeah,
no way they did this with a straight face the whole time.
because you're rolling. You're like, oh my God, this is so funny. You're like, how did they get through that? How did they not laugh at that? Because
But then
I'm over.
again, funniest things aren't comedies. Like I don't know how that works for some people. But like I have laughed harder at serious things that weren't meant to be funny than I ever have at comedies where you know the joke is coming.
Oh,
Because
right.
like it yeah. So
Like if
an
the style of the
example, The Witcher.
show.
Witcher was not meant to be a comedy. Literally the main dude there, Henry, I think his name is. I'm probably if I butcher that guy's name,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, if I got that guy's name wrong, I'd never hear the end of it. But because he was Superman too. Like, how can you get his name wrong?
It's
But
Henry Cavill, I believe.
yes, Henry Cavill. So in the books, he talks a lot more. But Henry's idea was, well, let's not make him talk. Let's like literally limit the dialogue. Like if he says 10 words on that page, let's lower that down to just a grunt and make him say nothing. And then we can focus on more of the show than his dialogue. Not because Henry can't memorize dialogue, but just that's the angle he wanted to play. Like I watched an interview about it. He wanted to take all that dialogue that the character says and basically delete it and just say, "Nah, I'm just going to be reactionary." But there are parts of that show where you're watching it and it's supposed to be serious, and then just out of nowhere that humor just kicks you in the balls. You're like what? But like I'm
Yeah.
watching the background of it too, and the characters are losing their fucking minds too. So I'm like, oh good, I'm not the only one. Like, yeah, that's my favorite kind of humor.
That's one of the things when I was watching Game of Thrones, because I know that there were some definitely intentional, humor with that, but like who was always this dark, mad character, but his one-liners that were meant to be destroying like somebody, I was just laughing my ass off. I was, oh my God, I wish I could say that, or I wish I could do that.
Right?
I was not expecting that, just don't yell at me like that. That's the
Yeah, that's
no.
that's the attention whore right there.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll say the word. I don't care. I'll say the word.
No.
Whore. Okay.
No.
Woof.
You go tell Nick.
Woof.
She's doing these little barks, dude. Oh my God! I just realized we're tiny, and I gotta get going.
That's my tiny one.
Oh, she's beautiful though.
No, they're all boys.
Oh, they're all boys. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
He's
no, that's okay. All the cats are boys. My dogs are girls.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's French fry, right there.
That's French fry. That's the one you couldn't find earlier.
Yep. Wasn't hiding. Oh, you need to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go, man. Dude, we've already been on for over an hour.
Yep, that's how it happens.
I see what you're talking about, man. That's awesome. Hey, and then Cameron, what I'm gonna do is after we get off, I'm just gonna say I know you gave me your number a while back when we thought TikTok was gonna go off. So I'll send you my number. That we get on my cell, and then just shoot me back a text so I know it's you. But man, thanks for having me, man. This was a lot of fun. We need to do this again. This was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. I'll have you on again.
All right, man. Well, have a good night, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Later.
Later.